Okay, so on this first one, what are they asking us to do? Like, what's the question? Write an equation. Okay, that's the first thing that they're wanting us to do. And then they give us an expression to base it off of, right? So they give us this square root of x. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down because I know that's going to be part of my equation, right? Now, they said vertically by a scale factor of 3. So where's that guy going to go? Is it going to go inside the radical or outside the radical? Outside the radical, right? And then it says origin has been translated to the point -4, 1. So if I have -4, where is that moving to? -4, 1. That means I'm moving left, right, up, down. Tell me. Left 4, right? Okay. So that's going to be +4 because everything underneath the radical is going to be opposite land. Okay. And then that 1, you already told me, is going to move up. So it's going to be outside my radical. So it's going to be +1. Okay. If you left off this little 2 in this cubby hole, that's okay. That's still correct. On number 2, what is the question that they're asking me to do? Write an equation. Okay. Now they give us the cubic root. Okay. So let's go ahead and write that down. Cubic root of x. Then they tell us that it's reduced horizontally by a scale factor of 1/2. When we deal with horizontal, is that going to go inside or outside? Inside. And what are we going to do to the fraction? I can. Can I get rid of the top row? Okay. All right. I'm going to erase, ask a friend. Okay. So I've got the cubic root of x. And you told me that this is going to go on the inside. So horizontally means that I'm going to flip the fraction, right? So that means that I'm going to flip this 1/2 to be 2. Oh, thanks. Okay, so horizontally means I'm going to flip it. Okay, the reason why is because we're always in opposite land underneath the radical. Okay. Translated up 5, that means it's going to be +5 on the outside. And then this is the one that everybody always gets confused. Reflected over the y-axis. That means that I'm going to have a negative underneath the radical. If it was the x-axis, that negative would go out front. Can you take a moment? Can you try number 3 now that you know all of that? Can you try number 3 now that you know all of that? Okay, so on number 3, okay, it says write the equation, okay, square root of x, and it's been reduced both vertically and horizontally by 1/3. So vertically and horizontally. That means I'm going to take 1/3 and put it where? Outside. And then for horizontally, what am I going to do? Flip it and put it inside. Now it says translated left by 7. Remember, this is always opposite day. That means that translated left by 7 means that it's going to be -7, but we're going to flip it. So that's going to make that +7 underneath that little umbrella. Ta-da! Yep. What goes on the app? Nothing. It didn't move up or down. Up and down. Yeah. Up and down would be. Okay. So on number 4, we're going to write the equation, but the question actually is asking us for domain and range, right? So we're going to keep that in mind. Let's write the equation first. So we have the square root of x, which we talked about. You can leave off that little 2. Okay. You don't have to put it on there. Reflected over the x-axis. So what is that going to be? Reflected over the I'm sorry. Reflected over the x-axis. What is that going to do to our equation? Negative is going to be out front. Shifted up 5. So what is that going to do to our equation? Yep, +5 on the outside. And then stretched horizontally by 2. So what are we going to do? Flip the fraction and then put the 1/2 on the inside. Remember, horizontal, you flip. Okay, horizontal, you flip the fraction, you put it on the inside. Okay, now they asked us for the domain and the range, right? The 1/2 came from that horizontally by 2. Remember, we flipped the fraction, so 2 over 1. If I flip that fraction, that's going to be 1/2, right? Where'd I get the 5? Because it said up 5, right? Right? Okay, so we're going to graph it. We're going to tell the domain and the range. So when we go into Desmos, okay, so what's going to happen is the domain is my farthest left x value to my farthest right. So what's my farthest left x value? 0. What's my farthest right x value? Positive infinity. What's my lowest y value? Negative infinity. What's my highest y value? Okay. There's my domain and range. Okay. All right, so I want you to go ahead and take a look at the next one. But one thing you're going to notice, this x to the 1/3. What's another way of saying x to the 1/3? The cubic root of x. So can you take a moment? Can you write the equation for number 5? And then we're going to talk about the end behavior. They've got us having this cubic root of x, and it's been reflected over the y-axis. So where are we going to put that negative? Inside or outside? Inside. Okay, because it's over the y-axis. Now, translated down 4. So what is that going to mean? -4. And then stretch double vertically. Yeah, that's a really weird way of saying that. But that's okay. We're here for it. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to type that into Desmos. Okay, so we get 2, and then we get the cubic root, and then negative x -4. Okay, so looking at our graph, we've got this. Within behavior, we're going to say as x goes to negative infinity, what's happening to our y values? So as we move to the left, what's happening to our y values? They're going up. As we move to the right, what's happening to our y values? They're going down. Ta-da! There's your end behavior. That's it. Okay, so after you have read number 6, what's going on in this? Like, tell me the scenario. Where we at? A quarter's being dropped off a roof. Okay, so here I am, standing there with an abnormally sized 25 cents. Okay, look at that awesome stick figure. It's me. Okay, so with that being said, where is the interval where the graph is positive? First of all, define the word interval for me. What are they asking you for? What is an interval? Like a starting point and an ending point, right? Okay, so interval means a starting point and ending point. And then where is the graph positive? What is that saying? Above the x-axis, right? That's when my y values are positive. Okay, so again, they're asking for what time is the graph positive? Okay, so with real world scenarios, we always are going to start from 0 to wherever it starts going negative, right? So from 0 to like 3 point something, like we're gonna say roughly 3.25. It's above the x-axis. Okay. It's kind of like when you say like, oh, something's happening from 10 to 12. Okay. Yep. Yes. Interval is talking about the x values. So what does the positive interval represent? Okay, so this is the height. So it starts at 10 feet and then it's dropping down. Not the speed. What does this represent? Ground. Okay, tell me more. The distance away from the starting point, maybe? Okay, cool. Yay, go physics. Distance away from dropping point. Okay. And what does the plus 10 at the end of the equation represent? What does that plus 10 represent? So we're starting on a roof, right? We're starting on a roof. So this is the height of the roof. Yay. Okay. Talk to me about what's happening in number 7. Like what's going on in this situation? Okay. So I'm throwing a paper airplane, right? Okay, this is me over here. With don't make fun of my paper airplane. Okay. I can't draw a paper airplane. This is my awesome paper airplane. Boom. There it is. Beautiful. Okay. So what happens to the airplane after 9 seconds? It hits the ground. Okay. So the paper airplane is on the ground. It's chilling. Okay. At what domain is the airplane's flight path valid? Let's talk about the word valid. What does valid mean? It's good when it's fair, when it's the truth, right? When it's actually in the air, when it's positive, when it's not negative, right? Okay, so what domain is when the airplane's flight path valid? Well, we always gotta start at 0, 0. And then how long is it in the air for? 9 seconds. That's a long time for a paper airplane to fly. We're gonna say 9.25 roughly, because it's not like right at 9, it's a little after. And then what does the 5 represent at the end of the equation? Okay, the height of wherever like the arm is, right? Like it's 5 feet in the air, right? Okay, so we're gonna say the height of starting point. Okay, if you are able to do this worksheet, you should be able to be set for Wednesday. Okay, remember your test is on Wednesday. A lot of y'all did not do your Delta math. You've got 2 more Delta maths that are coming up. Y'all are waiting too late. Get those done.